you serious?
No hesitation on the shot. Ms. Rye's feeling it. Make it 3 for 3. And Ciolino, see you later. Here's a chance for Sias, and there's a shot and a goal.
Will Spare will take it all the way. Touchdown Seahawks.
The extra look and the goal. A gorgeous goal by We welcome you live to Oceanside High School, where tonight the Varsity Media Sports Network presents this Nassau Conference 1 showdown between the Dalers of Farmingdale and the Sailors of Oceanside. Good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler here with Mike Hungerford. 2 undefeated teams. First home game for Oceanside. The 309 is out in force. It's a blackout in the stands. This is what high school football is all about tonight.
Great atmosphere here at Oceanside High School. A little different from me on the other side of it. You're used to staying on the sideline playing against it, but everything you could ask for. It's so great to be, we still have this thing going on called the pandemic, I guess, but school's back going full force, football's back full force. It's great, Dylan, awesome stuff.
Both teams coming off week 1 wins. The Dalers 38-7 over Port Washington, and Oceanside 34-7 over Uniondale. Let's take a look at our impact players. First for the visitors from Farmingdale, and it is Jordan Smeichel. We know him as a multiple sport athlete. You know him well, obviously, coaching him at lacrosse. But for Farmingdale to have an opportunity here, they want a big play guy, Smeichel might be that guy here tonight.
Sure, Jordan, 4-year varsity football player, 4-year varsity basketball player, 4-year varsity lacrosse player in the spring, and a very good athlete, excellent route runner, and has big play potential in every down. I'm sure the Sailors will have something in mind to sort of, try to keep him under wraps.
Good bloodlines, too. A lot of Smeichels have done some work for the Dalers over the years. Our impact player for Oceanside, no surprise here. It is Charlie McKee, their quarterback. Mr. Everything, leading the team out here before the start of the game. A returning Thorpe Award winner. You talk about records in terms of Oceanside, he shattered them all. A starter from the time he got here. He's now mastered the offense. You look at week 1, what he did, so efficient, 15 of 18, 231. He's bound for Stony Brook, and he this year could kind of put himself into some very special company when you talk about all-time Long Island quarterbacks, certainly of the past 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I think, Coach Brown talks about the only thing that they really want to get done is they want to win a championship, right? And they want to get that championship for Charlie. He's done everything else, thrown many touchdowns, yards, all those things. And with a championship this year as the #1 seed, to put them in really good company in the discussion of great quarterbacks, at least definitely in the last 10 years in Long Island history.
Yeah, we'll show you some numbers later as the game goes on, but when you talk about big names, Jack Cohn or Joe Capobianco from Lawrence, Steve Ferrara as well from Sayville, Charlie McKee's right up there with the best of them. Let's take a look at our head coaches here tonight. They kind of go without needing any introduction, right? First for the visitors, of course, it's the legendary Buddy Krummenacher. There's Coach Krummenacher, Farmingdale 65, the captain of the 1964 team, the winningest active coach on Long Island. He's made for big games, for building programs. This is a big night for him, I think, to lead the Dalers.
Sure, you can see on the graphic, second most wins, all-time victory list in Nassau County, only behind Trilling, only behind Howie Votes. And, he's a big game kind of guy, kind of ready to go, coaching a lot of big games. We'll no doubt have the kids ready to go tonight.
And for Oceanside, it is Rob Blount, of course, his 13th year on this sideline here, leading the Sailors. There you see his resume. Last week, week 1, became the all-time winningest coach here at Oceanside, his 84th win. He's got a Nassau Conference 1 championship in 2017, 4 county championships, 9 Big 4 appearances. He has really built this program, thus the Rob the Builder title here. He's built this program to become a perennial powerhouse. He's just waiting. He just needs them to get to that very next level, a level that Farmingdale has gotten to, Massapequa, Freeport, to win that Long Island championship.
Sure, I think that, Rob's done a great job. People talk about it all across the county, what he's built here, the interest level in the program, the culture, and of course the week-by-week competitiveness and winning games all the time.
So we are about set to start here. Big night, home opener here for the Sailors, and you got to say, we're at a lot of different venues throughout Long Island. We'll be out at Bethpage tomorrow. We're in Suffolk. We're in Nassau. There's not many atmospheres that can compare to what we have here at Oceanside, especially on a Friday night. It is a special kind of atmosphere where everybody, it's a community thing. And they were here early as well. We got here early because we needed to get a parking spot.
People were here very early, very excited about it. Well, here we go.
Dailers kicking off. It is fielded at about the 12-yard line. Not much of a return. We get out to about the 26-yard line, and the Oceanside offense will get going. And again, they are led by Charlie McKee. And every year I feel like I ask Rob Blount, what's the difference, or what do you see different in McKee, right? Because it goes beyond the stats. Last year he talked about him getting bigger, him adding the running element to his game. This year it's more sort of a mental thing where he's just dominated how he knows the playbook in and out. We'll get you those starters in a moment, too, after this play. 1st and 10 from the 27. And there is McKee running right. Gets out just past the 35-yard line. Let's put those Oceanside starters up again. The offense, as McKee gets a first down run. Here you see him again, McKee, Lyson, Kramer, Mecca, and Hossein. Running back Nicky Cairo today. Up front, Joey Broderick, Ray Diaz, Anthony Corvino, Peter Staltaire, and Justin Alvarez. 2nd and 2, 8 on that first play. Fake handoff, McKee looks long into double coverage. It is picked off! Interception for the Dailers. And there he is, big play, Smichael.
You looked at Dylan on the first play. They kind of went with a heavy set left, ran the ball at McKee. The second play, they kind of came heavy set right with a fake, and they took a shot, and it looks like double coverage here. Jordan Smichael high points the ball, and a big play for the Dailers.
In fact, there was a third defender coming there as well, so a rare mistake there throwing into multiple defenders, but first turnover goes Farmingdale's way. Ironically, they start off at the same yard line that Oceanside did. They're on the 27 to start this second drive. Kyle Wilson in shotgun, man in motion. Fakes the handoff. Wilson takes it himself, cuts inside, and he's taken down at about the 33-yard line. Let's show the starters for Farmingdale. On offense, there you see QB, Kyle Wilson, Tomaso Ramos, Trevor Gayron, Smichael, and Thomas, as well as Mangio. Your receivers up front, Bolello, Steinheimer, Fallwark, Quinn, and Robinson. A gain of 7 by Wilson, the senior co-captain. Stays in shotgun. Fakes the handoff, goes over the middle of Smichael, and he's picked off. Interception, and that is returned. So both QBs with a pick early on. Oceanside takes over on their second possession on the 35.
Looks like they're running a bit of an RPO there on the slant. A skinny post. Kind of just tipped off his hands into the Oceanside player's hands. So turn of events here. Oceanside gets the ball. Pretty good field position on Farmingdale's 35-yard line, the right hash. Interesting, Dylan, we ran 2 plays. The quarterbacks ran the ball on the first play each, and then they both threw interceptions. So,
yeah, we'll see if we see something different here, right, in the second series now.
Definitely, maybe some nerves at play here.
Sure.
Some big game jitters,
Home opener.
No doubt.
So Oceanside off the turnover. They've got the ball on the Dailers' 35-yard line. McKee takes it himself, has a blocker, Cuts inside, another blocker upfield. That's Lyson with the block, and he gets out to the 22-yard line for the first down run.
Definitely going in a heavy formation there with a tight end, the second tight end, and it looks like a wing, really loading up over there, trying to outnumber the Farmingdale guys to that side of the field.
I believe it was Schmeichel on the tackle. Here is McKee again, tiptoes out to the left. He's taken down. Looked like it was Trevor Gayron. Let's show you those starters defensively for Farmingdale. We couldn't get to them early because there was only 2 plays and out. Some injuries we can talk about as well coming up, but you've got Bolello, Steinheimer, Chaccio, and Levantini up front. Dilger, Gayron, Pasilico, and Ackley. Secondary, get to that in a second. There's the pass completed to Rossler. It's Ramos, Thomas, and Schmeichel in that Daylor's secondary.
Short completion right there, Dylan to the tight end Rossler. Big target. First down for Oceanside, just outside the 10. So this is one of those, you get another first down before if you need more downs here before you score.
Yeah, Rossler, you mentioned, right? 6'6", 240, 3 years on varsity, still just a junior. Missed a chunk of last year. Got injured in week 2. There's the handoff, little scat back to Cairo. And he'll push it to, looks like about the 8-yard line.
Oceanside getting right back to the line of scrimmage. You have to in that run with a little 2-back set here. Ran a little power the last time. See what they'll come up with here.
2nd and 5. Handoff again, Cairo. Look at a switch, the change of direction. He's taken down inside the 5. Still, it looks like just short of that first down marker.
Oceanside a little bit of a size advantage up front against the Farmingdale defensive line. Okay, they're trying to exploit that a little bit and try to get some movement up front. Keep the ball on the ground here.
Cairo last week, 2 carries, 28 yards. A 3rd and 1 from the Daylor's 4. McKee calls his own number, dives towards the end zone, and he's just shy of the touchdown. He will, though, get the first down, 1st and goal for the Sailors.
Yep, 1st and goal from the 1 here, 4 cracks at it.
McKee will now go under center. That center, Corvino, who's been his center for the last couple years. McKee fakes the handoff. What a play! Goes the other side. Touchdown! Ryan Thomas tried to make the play, but McKee used his size, his strength to get in the end zone. A 1-yard touchdown run to put the Sailors up 6-0.
Coach Brown calls it the naked bootleg off of the naked boot, off of the power right formation, and McKee's able to get it across the goal line. Solid tackle by Ryan Thomas, but he didn't need much there to get it into score a touchdown.
Here you see it again. The play call, certainly they bit. Everybody but Thomas bit on that. He tried to make the tackle, but McKee was already in the end zone. Frank Maurizio looking to get the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. So after a wild start where both teams exchanged interceptions, a short field here for Oceanside. McKee's able to capitalize for a 1-yard touchdown run, 27-yard drive, and Oceanside has the 7-0 lead.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, three-point shot is up and in. You back them back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Oceanside High School. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here. And it's Oceanside with the early 7-0 lead. 7:42 left in this first quarter. This game one of two that we have for you this weekend. Big one here coming up tomorrow. Bethpage, Wantagh. The rivalry is renewed between those two schools. Certainly two Conference 3 powerhouses throughout the years. Always fun when Bethpage and Wantagh match up. That'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff. Mike and I on the call for that one as well. Short kick, fielded about the 29, and it'll be a fair catch by Thomas. He's a little bit fortunate there that he isn't called for a flag because he did start to move forward. I think Blount wanted that call as well.
Sure, good job with the fair catch right there. You know, the Oceanside guys, a lot of stuff going on in the kicking game. Fakes and onside kicks and things of that nature. So you always got to be ready with a hands team group. And good fair catch. Farmingdale guys get pretty good field position for 29. Try to get a drive going here.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't get to the Oceanside defense because there were 2 plays and out, right? So we'll show them after this first play. First down at the 29-yard line. Wilson has Ramos on his right hip. Man in motion. Wilson, time, flush out of the pocket, cuts it inside. Good play, and he's tackled from behind, wrestling for the football. And the official is saying it was down. There's still a rugby scrum out there.
Referee here on the sideline, the side judge here is marking him down on the 38.
Yeah, you see it again here. You like the cut. He got caught from behind, and that's where the wrestle for the football happened, but it will stay with the Dalers. So Wilson, a 9-yard gain on that first down, brings up a 2nd and 1 from the 37-yard line. Hands off, that's Ramos. Will he get the push? He will, out to the 40. Let's show you those starting defense for Oceanside.
Everything's happening pretty fast here, Dylan, right now, right?
You've got Rossler, Staltair, Miller up front in the 3-4 defense. Hickam and McGann are the outside linebackers. Lyson and Broderick, your secondary. Cornerbacks, Cairo and Hossein, Mecca and Kramer are your safeties. Missing tonight for Oceanside, Dan McCormick, number 2. He's got a low ankle sprain. Wilson gets out. A completion, shedding the first tackle, was Gayron as he gets out towards midfield.
Little play action there for Farmingdale on first down. They get their fullback, H-back, Trevor Gayron, out in the flat, little completion there. Those kind of plays try to keep the defense off balance, still and right with the run pass, and keep everybody honest. The Oceanside was that 3-4 front, usually morphs into sometimes a 4-man line. Quite a bit of blitzing usually involved in those linebackers, so trying to keep them honest a little bit with those play action passes.
Wilson last week showed both aspects of his game, right? Where he threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for 3. There's Wilson now on the ground, gets out towards about the 49-yard line, taken down from behind. I believe it was Lyson who made the tackle. Lyson, another big boy, another multiple-year starter. 6'3", 225, had 3 tackles, 1 forced fumble in week 1.
I feel like you've been hearing these names for a long time.
Yeah.
These guys 2- and 3-year starters, and some of them aren't even seniors yet.
And a flag, a lot of pointing by the Oceanside guys and clapping. False start on the Dalers.
A tough situation right there. You have 3rd and short in the 48. Now you're going to have, 3rd and like 7.5, and certainly changes the play calling if you're the Farmingdale guys. And if it was 4th and very, very short, maybe you consider going for it. I don't know if this situation might, if you don't make it, probably have to punt the football.
So Wilson gets the call from the Dalers sideline. Third and 7 from the 43-yard line. Wilson goes to Schmeichel, bobbles it. Is it a live football? Either way, it looks like Schmeichel fell on it, but this should be a punting situation. So that's how quickly things spiral, right? Where you're looking at a 3rd and 1, penalty, incompletion, punting the football.
Yeah, look at they're calling that a lateral right there. The ball was thrown backwards. I think that was going to be maybe double pass, and I couldn't come up with the ball, Jordan, and ball goes out of bounds to the sidelines. Well, it's a couple more yards. They're going to punt it away here.
So 1 man deep for Oceanside. So they're going to bring it here, it looks like. Line drive, really good punt. Fielded at about the 20. Here's Kramer. A flag is down. He gets out to about the 36, but hold the phone.
Look like you're going to have a block in the back there. You had Levantini down the field, number 20 for Farmingdale in the coverage. You look there, they got a little bit of him in the back. That's probably coming back.
Levantini, another one of the legacy names, right, for Farmingdale.
Brother Neal was a second-team All-Long Island defensive tackle and fullback a few years ago, and now he's getting playing time at Brockport. That's going to move him back.
Yeah, it was that block in the back you mentioned.
Dylan, you said before that McCormick not playing tonight for Oceanside, and a couple of Farmingdale guys are out as well. So the injury thing is always present here in football. It's one of those things. You testing the depth of your program. Ryan Woodland, pretty solid two-way starter for the Dalers.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the biggest one there because, he had that 77-yard one-handed catch for a touchdown. He had 88 yards receiving, so that big threat for you, for the Dalers, that is, and he's out. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Just over 4 minutes left in this first quarter. McKee dumps down low, cutting inside, and looked like tackled by 2 guys there. It was Michael Mecca. It's like Ray Diaz got a little bit of him, his offensive lineman.
Nice play there by Kevin Akeley. You see if they tried to throw a little screen there, and they had big Ray Diaz out there to block, and Akeley kind of lays the block a little bit and gets a hand on Mecca and gets him to the floor. Nice defensive play to hold the 2 yards right there.
Akeley, a wrestler as well. Solid tackler. He plays that whip in the Farmingdale D. 2-yard gain for Mecca, 2nd and 8.
Empty formation.
McKee, completion, forced out of bounds. That completion went to Nicky Ebel, number 23. Another, Blount's got these guys. They're all similar, right? He calls them the Rat Pack. You've got Ebel, Mecca, Kramer. The 4th guy now is Cairo. All these scat backs, shifty, tough, versatile.
Very tough to deal with in their short passing game. When they get in the empty set like they're in right now, you got 3 at the top of the screen and 2 at the bottom, and kind of like a modified bunch up top and 2 at the bottom, and then you're going to go with a little handoff there.
Handoff goes to Mecca, and he's forced back. Mecca had 1 carry for 4 yards, 1 reception for 45. What Blount says about Mecca, he says he's the best receiver we had. He led the county with 44 receptions a year ago. He says, right there with Luca Catolo from Syosset last year, the best receiver. But he also says he's the guy for this team. He says, look, we are Charlie's team. There's no doubt about it. But Michael Mecca is the heart and soul of the Sailors. 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9. Fake handoff. McKee over the middle. Finds Lyson just past midfield. And what a tackle by Thomas, excuse me. That was not easy to bring down the locomotive that is Logan Lyson.
Dylan, you said before they have these other guys, Ebel and Cairo and Mecca and the smaller guys, and then you bring a guy like Lyson on the scene at 6'3" and 220 plus pounds. It's definitely a matchup situation in the secondary.
First down from the Dailers 47-yard line. McKee forced out. It's a flag on the play. McKee goes. That flag in the backfield out by the 50-yard line, so you would think it would be an offensive holding penalty.
Probably what you're going to have there. But you see, Dylan, what makes McKee so good is that he had his first read. He came off his first read, went to his second read. Neither one was open, and he pulled the ball down and he ran. And he's a much bigger package than he was in previous seasons, and much tougher to bring down. And great decision by him right there. Forget the penalty and the hold, but decision by him to not throw something that could be intercepted or a bad throw. He's just going to pull it down and run with it.
Well, that's one of the things that Blount said too about him. And Blount, look, he's a quarterback, right? He knows what he's dealing with McKee, but he said, he's so smart now where he's checking us out of different schemes. He's picking up blitzes coming in. He's just done such a better job from a cerebral aspect of the position.
Definitely a tough guy to blitz. He was going to get the ball out of his hands very quickly, throw to a hot read. And, sometimes you're better off not even rushing, maybe trying to get your hands up rather than trying to get to him.
McKee out of the backfield. Completion out to the 50. And there is Cairo again. So he gets back a lot of those yards that were lost. A 9-yard completion.
It was a nice cut by Cairo on Kevin Akeley right there, and a good chase there by Levantini again coming from the near end to get him on the floor. These guys are definitely not easy to tackle.
Cairo, son of former Holy Cross High School in New York City, UMass Minutemen soccer player Rob Cairo. McKee, now the pressure comes, goes over the middle, just flings it, finds Mecca, and there's a flag right out towards where Mecca was at the 45-yard line.
A lot going on there on this play, Dylan. You have a blitz inside by Trevor Gayron, comes free, and McKee makes a great decision, just unloads the ball to where the blitz came from on the crosser, and for a nice completion. But I think we're going to have a block in the back again on Oceanside.
So it's not quite, New York Giants from last night, but certainly some penalties that I think Rob Blount would want cleaned up, especially from a veteran team that's been through so many of these big games.
I think the challenge is when you're Oceanside is they throw some deep balls, they throw a lot of short passes that turn into run after catches, and not blocking guys in the back and not holding guys is tough sometimes. It's not easy.
Under a minute left here, first quarter. McKee back to pass, under pressure, and he is sacked.
Anthony Bolello.
Bolello, the co-captain at D end.
Sacked by number 50, Anthony Bolello.
AB coming through for the Dailers right there off the end. I think he tried to go to his first read. I don't think the first crosser was open. I didn't really see the whole play. I was looking at one spot of the field, but AB kept on the rush and had the sack, and now we have a third and very long here for Oceanside.
Yeah, officially 31, and looks like the clock will just wind down as the first quarter will come to an end. Entertaining here in a battle of two of the top teams in Nassau Conference 1. Charlie McKee's 1-yard touchdown run the difference right now. It's Oceanside with a 7-0 lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got up. He's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside!
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford. We've got another Friday night showdown. A week from tonight, we go to the Catholic High School Football League, the AAA, the Big Boy Division. Cardinal Hayes, St. Anthony's under the lights out in South Huntington. Don't want to miss that one tomorrow. Mike and I will be on the call for this rivalry renewed. Bethpage, Wantagh, 2 o'clock in that one. We'll see, guarantee you, we'll see a lot of rushing, a lot of misdirection, some trickery between those two schools, Bethpage, Wantagh. So it should be fun. 2 o'clock kickoff on that one on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We start the second quarter with Oceanside facing a 3rd and 31 from their own 32-yard line.
These are still the downs where Oceanside is very dangerous. It's where they stick a knife in your heart a little bit on they have a kind of offense, and Coach Blount's got the kind of plays that can still, get 31 yards on you. To be very careful here.
It's a complex offensive playbook. McKee, back to pass, pressure comes, goes over the middle. It's a battle of ones, and it's incomplete. Jose in the intended target. Ramos from Farmingdale in coverage.
Tommaso Ramos, good coverage there. They take a shot on 3rd and long and see if they can hook it up or get a pass interference, a penalty of some kind, shorten the yardage. Tommaso Ramos, good job on the coverage there.
Love that matchup as well. Jose, kind of the new kid on the block here, a transfer from St. Anthony's, and not easy to kind of come in with that wealth of receivers and try to find your spot among a new team, a senior transfer at that. But Rob Blount, very impressed with him, and you can see there what he sort of means to them as well, right? Where he goes to them, he goes to Jose on 4th down. Now McKee is your punter, which makes, I think, defenses sweat a little bit as well.
Sure, you never know what you have. I mean, it's a little deep in their own territory at this point, maybe, but also shows you he's the best athlete on the team.
Oh, wow. He backed up Smichael a good 10 yards there. Smichael fielded it at the 25-yard line, turns, and he's tripped up at about the 42. So good field position for the Dalers to start this second quarter.
A lot of good stuff right there. Very good punt by Charlie McKee, and a nice return by Jordan Smichael. Some guys might have caught that and been happy with where they were, but he wanted to make something out of it. And penalty-free, right? Something we see very rarely on TV these days in punt return in college and the NFL is a penalty-free punt return.
So Wilson will bring his guys out here at the 42-yard line of the Dalers. 7-0 your score. We're so thankful you're able to join us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Wilson checks off, looks back again. Clearly saw something right there in the defense. He's got Ramos behind him. Twin receivers at the bottom of your screen. It goes to Ramos. Gets a little bit of a push. Maybe a gain of 2 for Tommaso Ramos, a first-year starter on this Dalers offense. A great athlete, was on the JV a year ago starting there. You know him, of course, well again. Varsity lacrosse player, Division I recruit. Really, really athletic is Ramos.
Very much so. Quick, athletic. Could become one of those guys who this season, with the kind of year it could put together, could become a household name in Conference 1.
2-yard gain on 1st down. It's 2nd and 8. There's the handoff. Good cut inside, and another cut out at midfield by Ramos again.
You can see one of his strengths Ramos has with some good tackling by the Oceanside guys, is he's very good at making the first guy miss. He's got that skill on the sweep read there by Wilson. Wilson gives it and just gets up and make the first guy miss. Good low tackle there coming out of the secondary by Oceanside, though, getting him on the ground.
I thought Wilson might have held that a little bit too long.
But depending on the read, who they're exactly reading, the read could change. But I guess he was trying to make sure that the end was, the readed player was bending.
3rd and 2. Another handoff. Legs moving. 1st down and a little bit more. Look at a cut inside by Ramos. Touchdown, Farmingdale! 50-yard touchdown run!
Great. I might have spoken about it before. I said he can become a household name. He makes very good at making the first guy miss, and very shifty, and a great cut. And you'll see a great block by Jordan Schmeichel. Just gets a touch there as the defender's trying to turn, gets him on the floor. And a nice breakout run there by Tommaso Ramos.
So Daler's looking to tie things up here. PAT is blocked.
We have a block there, Dylan, but I think we have a flag thrown by the umpire on hitting the snapper, which if the snapper remains with his head down, snapping the ball, he can't be contacted. I think that's what he's calling right there. Or he's calling a hold.
Let's see. Yeah, you're right. So now the question is, do you go for two if it's pushed up, or do you just get Lachlan there to go for the PAT again?
Well, Coach Krumenack has been through this before. I'm sure he'll make a good choice, but the problem with going for two and not getting it is now you're chasing points.
Correct.
With 10-13 to go in the second quarter and a lot of game to play. So, it's one of those things. Maybe you just re-kick it.
I think Krumenacker's asking for an explanation, and the flag is picked up. We'll move a little bit forward, and it'll be Lachlan again to attempt the extra point. Lachlan, the senior. But he's still having a conversation out there.
I think he's actually asking Dylan about it. I'm thinking the same thing in my mind right now. It's a personal foul. So do we just go? How is the yardage being enforced? And is it being enforced on a half a distance to kick it, or is it being enforced on the kickoff? And do I take it? What do I, on the re-kick?
Yeah.
How does it all work? It doesn't look like the ball's moved. It looks like has it been moved?
I mean, does it look like it's a re-kick here? So here is the PAT from Lachlan. It is wide left. But Tommaso Ramos goes 50 yards to the house to get Farmingdale on the scoreboard. 7-6 is your score. Oceanside with the lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Arjulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazzi, he gets it, Perazzi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
The Frickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman.
What a catch! Just Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it, touchdown, touchdown East.
We welcome you back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here. 7-6 is your score. The Dalers just got on the scoreboard. It was Tommaso Ramos, 50-yard TD run. The point after attempt was wide to the left. Lachlan kicks off, a good kickoff at that as well. Bounces, and it's fielded, juggled a little bit at the 10. Cutting inside and going down at about the 27-yard line. Looked like that was Ronnie Kramer. So this is a series that goes back many, many years between the Dalers and the Sailors. I don't know how many you've been to. I don't think you were at that first meeting between Farmingdale and Oceanside in 1950, but you were certainly at the last one there where Oceanside had the 26-0 win. 36 games all time played between these two.
A lot of games, a lot of years. The last 10 years have been very competitive between the two teams.
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Hard run up the middle, breaking a tackle. Schmeichel is finally the one to make the last tackle, but a hard charging run up front
some interesting, dynamics here going, Dylan, with the decisions by Coach Brown on running and passing, They certainly have the advantage up front with size. And I think the Farmingdale secondary has done a pretty good job so far.
2nd and 2. There's the handoff. Goes to Xavier Miller, 28, and he'll move the chains. So we weren't sure we'd see Miller a lot on the offense, but again, another one of these athletes, right? We know last year was a starting linebacker. Defensively, he's transitions up front. High snap, look out, a chase for the football. It's still loose, and it's finally picked up. It's picked up by Hossein all the way back at the 8-yard line.
Wild turn of events here. We got a bad snap there, and McKee kind of wasn't, I don't think he was coming early at that time or what was going on, but the ball got rolling around, and Hossein, great job getting on the ball. Bolello actually made a pretty good play. Instead of going for the ball, I think he kind of saw the Oceanside guy going to grab it and knocked him off of it and kept the play alive. But great play by Hossein. That's a receiver hustling all the way back there, right, to get on that ball. And once again, you got a crazy long yard situation here for Oceanside.
Yeah, this is like 2nd in Nassau County. There's Lyson. Flag on the play. He'll get out to about the 11, but this might be coming back here.
Got a flag on the play. Nice tackle there. You see what Coach Brown's trying to do. Just throws a quick screen out there, right? Little quick bubble, trying to make a missed tackle and get some great yardage back. Nice tackle out there by South Pacifico. Pacifico playing tonight in place of an injury to another defender.
Josiah Wilkes.
Returning starter. Josiah, got a bad ankle. Hoping to have him back soon. But nice tackle. But Coach Brown, great idea, getting the ball out there and trying to see if Lyson, with that body size of his, can just run through a tackle and make a miss. I think Coach Crewman activated declined that penalty, right?
He did, yeah. He's going to take a third and very long now.
Chance for a quick kick here, maybe.
Oh, and it's fumbled again. Still loose.
Oh, my.
And it looks like, again, Oceanside comes away. I think it was Kramer who fell on it. But, man, this is one of those possessions you're happy to just punt it away. It's just a mess on this possession here for the Sailors.
Just going one of those jet sweep plays, those fly sweep plays, and that might have been eventually called incomplete, though, Dylan, only because if you toss that one up and try to hand it off, I didn't really see what you did with it, but if you toss it up, it becomes an incompletion. If you hand it off, obviously it's a fumble.
So now McKee in his own end zone. It's Michael and Ramos deep for Farmingdale. And when I say deep, they're at the 40-yard line of Oceanside, so the Dalers should get some good field position here. Here's the punt, another good one. It takes a bounce perfectly, though, for Smichael at the 48. Little stutter step. He'll get out to about the 40-yard line, and that's where Farmingdale will take over.
Been a crazy turn of events the last few plays, Dylan, right? How momentum can go one way or the other a little bit. The Dalers with great field position here in the 40. See what they can mount the drive. I think Coach Brown and the Sailors just got to settle in a little bit, right? Some of their these are kind of mistakes are just some of their base actions, and he'll talk to them, he'll get them all squared away, and get them organized.
Again, both teams with comfortable wins in week 1, but this is really their first game of the year. A top 4 matchup preseason. Oceanside, the number 1 seed. Farmingdale, the 4.
For both teams, what's happening here tonight is nothing like, it's way different than what went on last week for both teams. It's a way different atmosphere.
And no disrespect to those teams, but that was almost like a preseason compared to this one. There's Ramos again. A stutter step, and he's taken down. Good tackle by Miller. So we were saying before, right, Miller was an outside linebacker last year. He was a starter there. He's moved up to the line, and what he does now, because he has that athleticism, we saw him at running back, he can now get some pass rush going from the edge, which Blount said was key for the Sailors.
Yeah, Miller's one of those quick, really athletic guys, can get off the ball fast and can be tough on an offensive tackle. And, some people might say he's a little undersized to play DN, but I think, in high school football, you want the best athletes on the field. Against both teams that want to, maybe you're in the spread, might be throwing the ball around most of the conference. You need chasers, right? And you guys chase the football, and he is certainly all of that.
Yeah, Miller 5'10", 180, 4 tackles in week 1. Wilson will go deep. He's got a man! Incomplete.
It's going deep there for Ryan Thomas. Had a step and just couldn't hook it up.
Yeah, Thomas beat his defender, but the pass just out of his hands, which brings up a 3rd and 9 from the 39. Now, considering where you are in the field, is this 4-down territory here? Because you could angle a punt and maybe have Oceanside go from the 5 if you're not able to convert here on 3rd down. Oh, a little movement up front.
Yep, yes, a little movement up front. I think, Dylan, though, you're saying, things may change right now. When the ball is on the 39, though, I think if you didn't get any more yards or maybe a short amount of yards, you kind of would punt the football, I think, because, Oceanside seemed to be a little nerved on deep in their own end of the field on the last possession. And maybe you want to put them back in that same spot to have to do it all over again. Make them go the distance, rather than give them a shorter field and give them a couple 20, 30 yards to play with.
Yeah, McKee from right now, the 44-yard line, is a different quarterback certainly than he is from the 7 or the 5, right?
No doubt. Farmingdale looks like an empty set here.
And a timeout was called by the Dalers.
It's a good timeout there, I think. It gives the offense a little time to get organized. Maybe they saw something they didn't like in the play they called, right? So get organized and come out with a better play. Atmosphere, Dylan, no, 7-6. Everybody is rocking.
Yeah, so this is week 2 for both of these teams. I'll show you their schedules, and you can see it here. Oceanside with that win at Uniondale. Dalers were home. And even past this matchup, you look at that week 4, that rematch of the championship game played right here at Oceanside in the spring. Massapequa, the defending champions, they'll come to town. That's going to be a big one on October 2nd. We'll have that one as well. And week 8, Dalers, Pequa, always one to circle as well. Look out for Syosset as well. They're one of the top teams this year as well in Nassau Conference 1.
Sure, Farmingdale the 4 seed, Oceanside the 1. I think Massapequa the 2 seed, and Syosset the 3. So you mentioned all the top 4 seeds they're doing in upcoming weeks, and no disrespect to anybody else, no schedules, but there's some great matchups coming up, and what it seems to be.
3rd and 14. From the 44-yard line. Man in motion. Wilson looks that way, now goes the other side. He's got one-on-one matchup. It's Smeichel out of bounds. Smeichel came up with the football, but good defense there by Hossein.
Yeah, Wilson, steps back there, puts the deep ball, just enough pass protection, and the ball's out of bounds. Hossein's kind of squeezed into the sideline. Great job by Smeichel coming down with the catch, but 2 very good players right there. One squeezed into the sideline, the other one making a circus catch, albeit out of bounds.
So I think that decision we were contemplating, what do you do? I think that penalty there justifies here this decision here to punt. It's Kramer and Mecca are your deep men for Oceanside.
Wilson back to punt here.
A short one. It'll take a bounce. Let's see if it's it's taking a Farmingdale bounce. Fielded and downed right at, looked to be the 5-yard line. So long field here, 95 yards for Oceanside to go. And you've got to say, mission accomplished there for the Dalers on that
I think
situation.
Mission accomplished for both teams. I think Oceanside, Farmingdale got the ball in great field position, couldn't really move it. Oceanside got the stop they needed. and a short run and 2 incomplete passes with a penalty thrown in, they get to stop and even get the ball back. Farmingdale punts the ball and puts them in very difficult situation on the 5-yard line. So, Farmingdale would have liked to have moved the ball and tried to score there, but they give it Oceanside the ball with 95 yards to go. And we can see if the Sailors can kind of settle in here a little bit. I know Coach Brown will dial up some plays that'll maybe get him back in some stuff that'll put him in a solid footing here. Not just physically, but mentally,
Sure. Well, it's always unsettling, I think, when you're in your own end zone to take a snap. Quick pass to Hossein. Hossein in the space, a little juke, and he gets out to the 20-yard line. Week 1, Hossein, 5 receptions for 110 yards and 1 touchdown. Dad played at St. John's University for the legendary head coach there, Bob Ricca.
Just throw a simple screen out there to Hossein and let him kind of run around with it.
Big run by Cairo. A great tackle as well by Ramos, but it'll be a first down for Oceanside.
They ran a little looked like power there, and kind of cut it back on the inside there, took it north-south. Here comes Rapp, looks like they pulled the tackle there, and he squeezes through again.
And then right at, or just, no, did they get it? I think it was just shy of the first down marker.
Run by number 21, Cole Parker, for an Oceanside first down.
Well, they did give him the first down.
Bringing that big guard Ray Diaz around. Lot to handle there.
Yeah, big guard is right. 6'4", 275 for Ray Diaz. Great story. We'll tell you about him in a moment. Look at this power run. First down. Miller lowers the shoulder, brings the physicality, and he moves the chains.
First down, Sailor.
3 similar plays in a row right there, Dylan. I think Coach Brown decided to make things pretty simple right there, right? They got him blocked up front and get him run around the secondary.
So a timeout by the Dalers just because that momentum, right? That's one of the things about Oceanside. When they get into a rhythm, it's so hard to break that rhythm, and one way to do it is certainly by calling a timeout. So Farmingdale with the timeout. You mentioned Ray Diaz, right? Great story, number 70 for Oceanside. He's been up on varsity for 3 years, right? And Blount said they pulled him up as a sophomore for development, right? You want to hear this is what varsity football is like. Here's the speed. Here's the physicality. Here's what you need to do. Blount thought he'd be the guy last year to be a starter. Wasn't quite ready just yet. But he said he did a great job in the offseason, and it's finally clicking. He still has some work to do, but he's one of those guys that we're going to go with. He says, I'm sure that Diaz had his moments of doubt, right, after waiting all that time. But he's the guy every year at the end of the year, those end-of-the-year meetings, Coach, how can I get better? Coach, what do I need to do? He's never missed a weight room. He's been in every off-season session, and here he is now, Ray Diaz, a starter on the offensive line for Oceanside.
Great story, Dylan. Every program's got guys that find their maturity level and their ability to get it done at different points. I think, if you look at Oceanside now, they have enough kids playing in every grade where you're going to get some multiple-year starters, but you're also going to get some single-year guys, right? You get to see their chance. I know in Farmingdale, classic placement, there's a lot of one-year guys. A lot of kids wait for their senior year to get a chance to start, and they give it all they got for 8 games or more, including the playoffs. I think Ray Diaz is doing that for the Sailors kind of right now.
First down and 10 from the 37-yard line. McKee calls it himself, looks for some blocks, cuts inside, shifts it out, and he's taken down. Tackle by Levantini, but he gets out to about the 33-yard line, 34.
Came back with that heavy right formation with that tight end, the other tight end, the Y off, and then the wing. And that's like the game started with McKee kind of storming that corner a little bit. He had a little patience there, kind of let the blocks develop, and then cut it back a little bit. And Levantini was there for the tackle, but good patience there by McKee.
Pasilico as well. 2nd and 6. Kramer at the top of your screen. McKee is taken down. So's the white hat. And there is a flag on the play. Levantini with the sack.
Sacked by Farmingdale, number 20, Matt Levantini.
A lot going on there. Looks like they had a little play action there, and we're going to have like something on the boot maybe coming there.
A holding penalty.
Yep, and there on the backside, it looks like either Lyson or the tackle got a little arm wrapped around the pass rusher there. And that's going to move him back. And in the process, the white hat goes down.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
He's good. He's good.
Now you got another one of those penalties that's kind of struck Oceanside a little bit, and it's put them now in this, 2nd and 20 situation. Even a little more than that, actually.
Yeah, 2nd and 25. They were rolling there. They had the momentum, and if you saw that Farmingdale had to call a timeout just to kind of stop that momentum train, but so often the momentum killers are those flags, right? Those yellow flags that pop out.
I make a couple adjustments up front, I think, Farmingdale, but those flags, it's a spot foul holding, so you can lose a lot of yardage. Here it comes again.
Here's the handoff. And a good run out to the 41-yard line.
Big game by number 21, Cole Parker.
And it was Cole Parker, 21. Another big carry here for Parker, a guy that we weren't sure we'd see get a lot of touches here tonight.
Looks like this year Oceanside a little more by running back by committee, doing a few different guys getting their touches and getting their chances at it, and not having one guy like they've had the last few years, a little bit more.
Well, they had Andres Duran, right?
Andres Duran
who was the guy.
It was a battering ram.
Yeah.
And, now they have a little different kind of a setup. Lyson still is that up back, but a few different guys carrying the ball at the tailback spot.
3rd and
Power.
11. There he is again, pushing forward, and will be short of the first down marker.
Game by number 21, Cole Parker.
Akeley, 33, in on the tackle.
Oceanside moving quick here to get lined up.
Yeah, 4th and 6.
They're getting lined up there and then trying to, kind of see what the defense is lining up in, what they're looking at. Give the guy up top, a man in the sky, and Coach Brown some chance to look at the defense. Of course, big chess match. Everyone will adjust a little bit after the play call is made.
You got big Logan Lyson out on the left side, and looks like
I think he's going to call timeout.
He will,
Coach
yeah.
Brown. He's going to let the clock run down, and with under 2 minutes to play here before halftime, trying to get a look at the defense. And you got 4th and about 6, a little more than 6, right, on the 34-yard line. So big decisions here.
Timeout, Oceanside.
so. Timeout for Oceanside. 1:41 left in this second quarter. We talked about it at the very start, right, of the broadcast, the culture and what has been built here at Oceanside by Rob Blount, and this atmosphere is unlike any other. There you see a cool graphic the parents kind of put together there. You see on the left the slogan, right? Change the culture. 84 career wins for Rob Blount, but it's not just the wins, right? It's everything that comes with it. It's about building up the community. High school football is so much about the community, and they have come out in droves. He's got the students there. You see the 309 decked out in all black here tonight. These stands are packed every home game, and it really creates a tremendous home field advantage. You see the slogans there, all in, the 309. I asked Rob, did this happen? Was this what you envisioned when you took over 13 years ago? Did it happen as fast or faster than you thought? He said a lot of the success actually came a lot quicker than he thought, but then again, that credit goes to a lot of the players, right? Where some amazing kids who were part of that early Oceanside teams, guys like Tyler Hewer, Gene Garay, the Beard, right? James Krakowski, Matt Schneider. Those guys helped them get some early wins where they were starting to become a Big Four team on a regular basis. 4th and 6. McKee back to pass. Time. Looks. Fires one. In and out. Was that Ramos in coverage? It was. What a job. Again, dueling ones. Hossein had the ball in his grasp, and Ramos stripped it out.
Great route by Hossein and a really good ball by Charlie McKee. And it looked like it was all going to finish up good for Oceanside, and then Ramos got his hand in there and he couldn't secure it. The ball went to the ground and incomplete.
So 1:35 you see on the bottom of your screen is the clock here. Farmingdale's used a couple timeouts. They've got one left in this first half, so let's see.
Dylan, you were talking about expectations before, and you have to, I guess, Coach Bond understands that to get to this, you have to win games.
100%.
And then the kids and the team have to buy into winning, because when people come in to see this, you have to perform on the big stage, right? So there's a lot that goes into this. It's easy to say, hey, we'll get kids to come to the game and wear a shirt and get excited and we'll play music. But practice, preparation, all that goes into it is the key to the whole thing.
Wilson takes it himself, gets out to about the 38-yard line. Wilson again has shown that dual threat. 5 touchdowns in week 1, 3 on the ground, 2 in the air.
Clock running here, 2nd and 5, 1:12 and running, and Coach Brown has 2 timeouts. He hasn't really used any of them yet. He may be happy. Maybe he's going to use one here after this play. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if you get a stop, right, you're facing a 3rd down. There's Ramos. Breaks the first tackle, gets the first down out towards the 46-yard line. Ramos so hard to take down. 5'10", 165, but athletic, shifty, determined.
That's Logan Lyson in the hole there, scraping off at linebacker, and he makes a very, very good play on this. I mean, Logan Lyson's a returning starter and a lot of field time, and he left him grasping for air a little bit there, and that's a very good play you make and miss. And like I said before, I think Tommaso Ramos is one of those guys people will start to see as a very good player in this conference.
Wilson, completion, and the Oilers get out of bounds. They'll get a first down. The clock will stop.
Good tackle there by the Sailors, and I think Michael was determined to try to get out and kind of carry him out of bounds, piggybacked him out of bounds, and stop the clock here with 32 seconds left. Clock here is official, Dylan. We have an official up here on the clock.
Correct, yes.
So it's official.
So 1st and 10 from the Oceanside 44. Again, 1 timeout left for the Dalers. Wilson takes a few steps backwards. He's got Ramos as a blocker. Goes over the middle. He's picked off. Interception. And a big tackle to avoid the TD, but what an INT. Xavier Miller, 24. Jack Hickam with the pick.
Trying to throw a screen there. I think the ball was a little off target maybe, or the receiver missed it and fell right into Miller's hands in his drop. 22 seconds left here for Oceanside and 2 timeouts, ball on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, plenty of time here for the Sailors. That was Hickam with the INT. There you see him, number 24. So again, this game of momentum, it shifts now to the Sailors. Plenty of chances here to extend their lead. 1st and 10 from the 20, 22 yards from the house. 2 timeouts as well. McKee hands off. I believe that was Cairo on the inside. And there is one of those 2 timeouts with 15 seconds left. Cairo didn't play last year too much. He was injured from weeks 1 to 6. He got, again, a short season in the spring. He got healthy just before the playoffs, and you're rolling at that point, so you don't use them in some situations. But Cairo's going to be the guy next year. A rare starting junior on this senior-laden team is Nicky Cairo. Blount calls him probably the best change of direction that we have on the team. He said he's really excited for him. He wants to get him some touches in the open field and kind of see what he can do to change things. He's the guy who could definitely make some people miss.
Yeah, you can definitely see in some of his runs here. It seems like he's just about to get it, right? And he's very shifty, not the biggest guy, but that's okay. And, the Oceanside got both teams have playing with some people that people would say, oh, you got to be a big kid to play high school football. And far from the truth. Athleticism, speed, toughness will get you a long way. And both teams have a few guys who are playmakers who you wouldn't call giants, but they're very, very athletic.
So let's set the scene here. 2nd and 7 from the 16-yard line. 15 seconds on the game clock. Both teams with one timeout. Empty backfield here for McKee. Low pass takes the deflection and nearly intercepted. James Dilger, 40, the linebacker, almost came up with it.
He had a little pressure there from Nick Chacho. Looked like got a little pressure up on the inside, but one of those plays, let's get a completion there. We have one timeout to work with, so now you have 3rd and almost 8, still with a timeout left with 11 seconds. And of course, you have a pretty good kicker, right, for Oceanside.
Yeah, Maurizio is a guy who Blount said he's pretty comfortable with him anywhere inside 40 yards to kick field goals. Was 4 of 4 on PATs in week 1. 3rd and 7. Low snap. There's a handoff, run up the middle. Big tackle, and he is stopped just shy. You got to. Time is stopped. And again, Cole Parker, 21, a big run. There is the final timeout here for Oceanside. 1st and goal for the Sailors.
Yeah, but coming back to some of those more inside running plays, right? Where they have a little bit of a size advantage up on the inside. Broderick's returning tackle on one end for the Sailors at 215, but their inside 3 guys are quite large. In Diaz and Corvino and Stautori, those guys are in the 250 to 270 range across on the inside. So that caused a little bit of a problem there with the Dale is a little small.
This game 1 of 2 this weekend on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We stay in Nassau County, but we head up a little bit, north, right? Head up to Bethpage High School. Howie Votes Field, Bethpage, Wantagh. Should be a lot of fun there tomorrow. 2 o'clock kickoff there, Bethpage and Wantagh. We'll be there for that, right?
Yep, and Bethpage Wantagh, one of those traditional Nassau County rivalries. It's kind of been separated by some enrollment things going on, but they're back at it tomorrow.
1st and goal from the 3. 5 seconds left. Again, Oceanside just took their final timeout, so you can't set yourself up for a field goal. McKee, that's incomplete. 2 seconds. So with the only thing I was going to say you can set yourself up for if there was an incompletion. So here you go.
Or maybe you're looking for a penalty in the end zone, a personal foul, a pass interference penalty or a holding penalty. Maybe you shorten the distance and you go for it.
So it looks like a strong package is in. I saw Lyson come in. You see him there 6. I see Rossler 5. Miller as well. He'll be the featured back as well as Mecca. So they're going to go here. 2nd and goal from the 3. Following Miller is McKee. Touchdown, Oceanside. So off that turnover, Oceanside capitalizes. Another short touchdown run by Charlie McKee to extend Oceanside's lead.
Last time, Dylan, they were down the goal line, and they ran a bit of a naked bootleg out of a power eye, and this time they're in the gun. Similar backfield with 3 men in the backfield, and kind of stormed the corner with him there, right? Trying to get a hat on a hat, outnumber him to the corner, and Charlie cuts it up for the touchdown.
Maurizio's PAT is good. And that happens right on the final play of the first half. So that does it here in the opening 2 quarters. Some excellent football that we have watched here. The difference right now is Charlie McKee, but it's Charlie McKee's legs that are the difference. 2 short touchdown runs for McKee has Oceanside out in front of Farmingdale 14-6. We'll take a break, bring you some halftime festivities as well, and you don't want to miss our top 10 coming up as well. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazzi, he gets it, Perazzi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
Little trickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman.
What a catch! Just Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it, touchdown, touchdown East.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, 3-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050.
Big Brother right now.
say, oh, you can say the big farmer and farmer and you see people trying to play that name.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Drum Captain Evan Waite, Sergeant at Arms Christina Vassilis, Librarian Brianna Boyce, and Brooke Demos. The Oceanside Sailor Marching Band is the USSBA 1A New York State Champions from 2004, 2005, 2006, 2008, 2009, and all state champions for 2004. U.S. Bands 2A, New York State Champions for 2013, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Special thanks are in order for our Superintendent, Dr. Phyllis S. Harrington, Director of Fine and Performing Arts, Mr. Andrew Frey Gold, High School Principal, Mr. Brendan Mitchell, Band Parents President, Mrs. Jill Bloom, and the Marching Band Parents Association for all their constant support this year. Now welcome the Oceanside Cheerleaders. Let's hear it for Oceanside High School cheer. They're coached by Samantha Shabak, and the team is led by Captains Maddie Guglielmo and Minzy Hahn. Now, let's welcome our Oceanside dance team.
Chris, do you have the highlights or not? Do you have those 3 touchdowns?
Money in the pot, once you get a little, they just gonna take you down. I got the money in the pot, once you get a little, they just gonna take you down. I'm a happy man, gotta put it baby. Got the money, everybody act like you know you. No outside New York City. Some Spanish girls love me like I'm computer. Tell Uncle Luke I'm out in Miami too. Cousin Hall, the women don't know the move. This plane got a kind of looking good, stand still, really brain from the thing.
I just spent the block, well these bitches wanna be ya. I ain't cause my wrist on my mind. I ain't several cars, no Kia, don't Kia. In a twin-seater, you Tamara, what's Tia? Pixie, I fuck them like stars. I'm playing basketball, but my bitches is on stars. Got Richie on my best cause I'm richer than most broads. Yo niggas stupid stripping and sending my postcard.
Your Oceanside varsity dance team is coached by Samantha Gennady and led by team captains Felice Bloom, Carlos Garcia, and Emmy Ortiz.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516 403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here. It's halftime. And the Sailors in their home opener, week 2 in this Nassau Conference 1 season, has a 14-6 lead over Farmingdale. How did we get there, you ask? Well, we've got your first half highlights. Starts here with Charlie McKee, a 1-yard touchdown run on the naked boot to give Oceanside the 7-0 lead, 7:42 left in the first quarter. The response would be a decisive one here by the Dalers as Tomaso Ramos goes 50 yards to the house. The PAT was no good, so it was 7-6 with 10:13 left in the second quarter. Teams would go back and forth until another short touchdown run right at the end of the first half. There you see McKee running left. He's got blockers in Lyson and Miller, and he gets into the end zone. A 3-yard touchdown run. The PAT by Maurizio was good, and that was at the final play, the final seconds of the first half. Your score at the half is Oceanside 14, Farmingdale 6. We'll take another quick break, and we'll have the opening kickoff of the second half right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Arjulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long. Wide open. Perazzi. He gets it. Perazzi. Foot raise. 10, 5. Make it. Touchdown. Punch. Power punch!
The trickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman. What a catch!
This Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it! Touchdown! Touchdown East!
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, 3-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net. Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got he's in.
Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Oceanside High School. Dylan Butler and Mike Hungerford. 24 minutes left in this one. Tight one. Oceanside leads it 14-6. Upcoming games for you tomorrow afternoon in Nassau, Conference 3. Bethpage, Wantagh. Should be a fun one tomorrow afternoon. Opening kickoff for that one, 2 o'clock. join Mike Hungerford and myself on the call for that one. And then some more Friday Night Lights. We go to the Catholic High School Football League Class AAA, a showdown between Cardinal Hayes out of the Boogie Down Bronx and St. Anthony's, the Friars, Cy Donnelly Field. You don't want to miss it. You can see it right there on our YouTube channel. Opening kickoff on that one, 7 o'clock next Friday. And of course, check out all of our social media platforms for more upcoming games that we'll announce in the coming days. So a little bit of a sloppy first half, Mike. Some penalty flags certainly affecting things. And Charlie McKee there, number 7, we see warming up. Saw him impact the game a little bit more rushing the ball and even a heavier rush package than maybe we've seen in the past, right? Where multiple guys running the football, not too many passes, or certainly not as many as we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I think right now, I mean, they came out and they tried to throw it. They threw a deep ball and got one picked off. But I think, looking at the size advantage that the Oceanside guys have up front, they're kind of playing that card a little bit, Dylan, and trying to push the Farmingdale defense around. Defensively, the Farmingdale guys have gotten a little pass rush, on some of his passing plays. And, maybe that's got Coach Brown thinking that he'll just keep it simple, keep the ball on the ground with McKee and the stable of backs they have and grind this one out. Looking at now, Dylan, it looks like the Farmingdale guys will get the ball first here, right? So, the ever-present onside kick or kicking game from Oceanside and what they have going is always in play. They always have to win the first down right here and get the ball on their possession and try to get a drive going. Obviously, the half didn't end the way they would have liked it. Couldn't end it maybe better for the Oceanside guys with interception and then squeezing the timeout with 20-something seconds and scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, you mentioned the rushers, and again, it's a game where you don't have Dan McCormick, who's a wide receiver, but really so many of these guys, you can't put an actual position on them because all these guys, Mecca, Kramer, even Lyson can showcase as a fullback out of the backfield. We saw Cole Parker, 21, Xavier Miller as well, 28, Nicky Cairo. So many of these guys can certainly run the football. So not only are they a bunch of scat back receivers, but they give you that option as well, rushing the football. And there is that kick. It did not go 10 yards, though, did it?
No.
Great call by you. You saw that one coming, huh?
Tell you, yeah, great. I mean, that's what they bring, that holy roller in the middle. And, one of the more dangerous plays in a football game right there. The Farmingdale guy, I believe, came across the line early and made a great play on the ball. The receiving team can come across early, but once they touch it, it's a live ball.
Right.
So a great decision to field that ball right there and keep it in that possession. And they have the ball on the 49-yard line, so a calculated gamble by Coach Blount. And I think the Dale is going to try to find some ways to create some more offense here, obviously playing without Ryan Woodland. Very good player for them, their slot receiver and inline blocker, a tight end, and, good receiver for them, 77-yard touchdown in the first game, so how do we find some offense here,
The 309 to our left getting loud. First play of the second half. That's Ramos in motion. He gets the handoff. Breaks the first tackle. Breaks the second as well. And gets a couple extra yards. Tommaso Ramos. Another quality rush by the junior.
Ramos gets it they get him on the sweep there, bring him across the formation, get a little momentum going in. I think Lyson tried to get him high there, and once again, he squirms out of it a little bit, right? And he's great at making the first guy somehow not get him on the ground.
5-yard gain on first down. You've got Smichael at the bottom of your screen, split out wide right. Again, it's Ramos in motion. The fake goes to him. It's Wilson calling his own number, pushes forward, gets to the 40. He's 1 yard shy of the first down marker.
Tackle made by number 21, Cole Parker.
And there's Parker again, his number, or his name being called. He's been all over the place here. Certainly a good showing by Parker, 21.
Big down here for the Dalers in terms of, they're on the 40-yard line. If it gets to fourth down, I'm not sure if you would go for it here or punt it, but you only need a yard. And just got to get that drive, keep that drive going, keep them coming out of halftime.
3rd and 1. Here's the handoff. It's Ramos. Again, splits, turns. First down for Farmingdale. Taken down inside the 35-yard line. So tough to take down. He's not the biggest guy, right? But again, shifty. You saw him spin there as well, away from that first tackle.
Left side of the line there for Farmingdale, with Billow a tackle and Steinheimer a guard, those two seniors, kind of going to that side of the line of scrimmage, and those two guys getting it done. Two returning players for them. Steinheimer, a two-way returning starter from last year.
Two co-captains as well. They both check in at 205.
Yep, Billow, a returning player on defense from last year, and also a very good lacrosse player. So count on those guys to get it done a little bit.
And there goes Ramos again, going down that left side. Gets about 4 yards on first down. You mentioned Bolello, Division I lacrosse recruit to Binghamton. Great motor and toughness. Obviously impacts the game defensively. We saw that in the first half. And Steinheimer as well, a starter last year at D tackle. Played a lot at guard because of some injuries. A wrestler, high motor up front. That's your left side of the Farmingdale offensive line. 2nd and 6. There's that play again. This time they didn't go to Ramos. It was Wilson. And Parker again in on the tackle.
I think now, now Dylan, last time it was 3rd and 1 from almost the 40-yard line, right? And now it's 3rd and 5 from the 30. You're probably thinking of 2 plays right here, right? Letting Colin Jones, the offensive coordinator, know Coach Krumenack can probably let him know that you might have 2 plays to work with here, so you maybe don't need it the whole once.
3rd and 6 from the 31-yard line. Wilson, time, goes over the middle, and that's long. Incomplete pass. So it'll be 4th and 6.
A little too much on that one. They were trying to get the slot down the seam there. Trevor Guerrero, get him released and get him down the seam, and a little overthrown there. Fourth down here.
So what's interesting here, right, is, again, Wilson's your punter. And he'll be in shotgun formation, so you can get a squib here and maybe angle it, but it does look like he's going to go here. 4th and 6 from the Sailors 31. Wilson rolls out, gets inside the 30, pulled down by Miller, and he will be shy of the first down marker.
Dylan looks just to be a little short.
So great job defensively. Here it is again. Miller does well.
Kind of trying to roll that pocket there, Dylan. Kind of a little flood action going on there, and nobody really open there for Wilson. Tucks it down and runs with it, and just can't get across the line. A little bit short.
Xavier Miller, we mentioned before, right? Moved from outside linebacker. He got hurt last year against Port Washington, where he dislocated his elbow. But he got moved down to the defensive end to bring a little more of that athleticism. He has that offensive or outside linebacker mentality on the D-line.
Good chase right there.
So turnover on downs, and Oceanside takes over on their own 26-yard line. 8:24 left, second quarter. Handoff, run right into the secondary, and good run by Mecca. Smichael on the tackle.
Good old power eye right there, Dylan. Old school football right there. Double tight.
Another handoff. Another cut inside, and another decent gain as well. Was that Mecca? Again, it was. Tackled by Chachio.
Keeping it simple right here, they get double tight with the 3 backs and the power, and they're just handing it off, trying to get downhill, and maybe a little play action or a little quarterback sweep coming off of it. Storm that corner maybe.
2nd and 5. There's the handoff again. This time it was Parker, 21. And this is interesting here, right? Because this isn't what you would say is Oceanside football. But they've got the athletes and maybe even more importantly, the guys up front to help get the push.
Sure, just try to wear them a little bit right now. And maybe you might get a little pass coming off it if everyone starts creeping up.
Handoff again. Past midfield to the 48-yard line. That was Parker, 21.
8-yard gain by number 21.
He's impressed me here tonight. Again, a guy that we didn't think would get a lot of touches. But listen, you play well in the first half, you get rewarded, right?
I think it's just ride the hot hand, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? This guy's he's feeling it a little bit. He's got some good touches, got great yak, some yards at the contact. Same backs, a little different formation out of it here, and now they're going to give it to McKee around the corner.
And McKee's wrapped up by some of the big boys up front for Farmingdale.
It's a good play by Steinheimer right there, getting off the block.
Stop made by Farmingdale, number 58.
Doesn't get much there. It'll be a 3rd and 3 from the Dalers' 47-yard line.
Clock kind of spinning, Dylan, with 6 minutes almost left to go, almost halfway through the third quarter. And, you know, it's kind of a big down right here. If you get them at the 4th down, maybe they get them to punt. And in Oceanside get a 1st down, we just kind of keep it going here.
Still that power package, right? Here's McKee. Follows a block. Loses the football.
Oh, it's loose.
And it looks like the Dalers have it.
Referee signal, yes. It appears that it did come out.
Was that Bilello again? AB.
Had a great run going there, Dylan. I think the ball was just not pinned up hard against his points of pressure there. And Below just kind of reaches in and grabs out of the tackle him, and out it comes.
So Bilello, the senior co-captain, gets it done. Another turnover, and there you see Blount and McKee. Right, a little conversation.
Sure, just a little it's okay. We're up 14-6 right now. You know, you had a good run going, and just, perform your fundamentals correct, right? Pin that ball, put it away. Don't let it happen again. And it won't happen again. It'll be fine. That's what veteran coach, veteran player is talking it out right there. Bilello with a sack and a fumble recovery, forced fumble and recovery. Kind of having a nice game on defense.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Can Farmingdale capitalize? Wilson with time goes over the middle, but he overshoots the intended target, which was Ryan Thomas.
So a little too much on that one. Again, well, it's a couple deep balls. He had a little bit too much on him. Dylan just got to settle in a little bit.
And an injury behind the play. It's Hossein limping off. And that would be a tough loss. Both sides of the football. We've seen what he's done defensively as well. Might be a cramp as they're stretching him out on the sideline here for Oceanside.
It looks like he's probably cramping up a little bit. It was pretty humid today. And I kind of commented to somebody about, the guy's got to hydrate because there's not a lot of temperature necessarily, but you can still cramp up, sweating a bunch.
Wilson, low pass, incomplete. And this will bring up a 3rd and 10. Smichael, the intended target. There you see Hossein getting stretched out on the Oceanside sideline.
I tell Coach Blount, those black jerseys with the blue numbers are a tough read for me tonight. Looks like placing him at corner is could be trying to see the number playing down here.
Well, Cairo it is, right, on this left side.
Shows you what kind of program Oceanside's building now. He can come out of the game, Hossein, and Cairo goes in. Pretty comparable replacement,
So you've got Thomas split out on the bottom right of your screen. Low snap. Wilson airs it out again, and again, well long of Smichael. So Wilson, 3 incomplete passes 3 and out for Farmingdale. So I think Wilson's got to get, well, after I guess the punt, right? He's got to get over to the sideline and get on the same page here with his receivers and offensive coordinator. A bit long there, as you said, a couple of those long balls.
Yep, I think, that route Ryan Woodland right now is kind of like their intermediate and deep threat at times along with Smichael. I think everyone in the facility knows might be throwing the ball deep to Jordan at times, so they're trying to find some of the guys.
Nearly blocked. It takes a good Farmingdale bounce, angles out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So really good punt there by Wilson. And Oceanside will take over inside their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. They had a break in there, and the punt almost get a block, and then Wilson gets the hit and roll, right? And turns into a pretty nice punt on about 40 yards there, right? So
how many times you referenced it last week when we were out at Cold Spring Harbor for that game against Seaford? How many times you see that ball on a punt just take that bounce and get another 10, 15, sometimes 20 yards, right?
Sure. It's fielding those punts are critical, and you're in here. It's nighttime right now. The lights are on, and it's a different environment than practice at 3:30 in the afternoon at your high school trying to catch those balls, and they get lost in the lights pretty easy, and not an easy task being a punt return in these night games.
1st and 10 for Oceanside at their own 20-yard line. They're out of that power package now, and it looks like McKee, the Stony Brook Bounds senior, will be set to pass. He does. Throws it near side here to Kramer, who's forced out of bounds at about the 30.
That's a standard thing that he'll come out with. He went double tight there with an ace formation with the 2 tight ends and 2 receivers. So it's 2 receivers to each side, but 2 inline blocking tight ends. Max protects and just takes a quick hitch or a quick out there, and steals a bunch of yardage on you. Just great execution by McKee and the receiver there.
Kramer week 1, 5 receptions, 45 yards and 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 from the 30. He looks his way again. Kramer, rinse and repeat. Another 1st down for Oceanside. He's thrown down at about the 42-yard line.
Same execution again. Trevor Gayron right there coming over to make the play at linebacker. And now they've run two of these hitches or these stop routes, right? And got about 10 to 12 yards. And there's the hitch and go coming up maybe soon, right?
McKee calls his own number. Goes up the sideline. Charlie McKee fights off a tackle. Pulled down near the 10-yard line. Smichael on the tackle. And Oceanside in business here with a big run by McKee.
Simple football, Dylan. When you start playing football when you're a little kid, they just run the ball to the corner, right? And everyone tries to get on a man, hat in a hat. Simple football right here. Hat in a hat. Man in a man. And try to let your athletes be better than the guys on defense.
McKee down at the 13-yard line.
Jordan Smichael making the tackle there to save a touchdown run. That probably was going in is get him on the floor. And you have a Lyson out of the game now, too. Looks like he's cramping a little bit.
You had those 2 not short, I guess, right, 10-yard hitches, and then all of a sudden you overplay maybe the pass, and McKee buries you. Pump fake, goes end zone, incomplete. Kramer, the intended target, and a great job defensively. And Smichael also coming up a little bit lame or limp, and another Dailers player down as well on the field. So the clock has stopped. An official's timeout here to deal with the injuries. We'll take it with them as well. 5:04 left here, 3rd quarter. Oceanside with a 14-6 lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Arjulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazi, he gets it, Perazi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
The trickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman. What a catch
this Ross. Simmons strips him. That's loose. And Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it. Touchdown. Touchdown East.
And welcome back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here, and it's a big play guy for Farmingdale here. It's Anthony Bolello. Looks to be all right. Again, cramping up, something that we've seen from a few different guys on both sides. So Bolello will go out. And again, it's a Farmingdale defense that had to deal with some injuries from week 1, right? So some guys had to get moved around.
Sure, Ryan Woodward would play defensive end. Below would play DT. Below now bumps out the tackle. They got Chachio back from injury. He goes to the DT. You got Josiah Wilkes, a returning starter at the strike. He's out with an ankle. Hopefully back next week. And then you got Sal Pasilico playing, a sophomore. And
here's McKee following Mecca. McKee, touchdown Oceanside. 13-yard. Touchdown run. It's a hat trick of touchdown runs for Charlie McKee, who extends Oceanside's lead to 20-6.
So there you have it. Once again, going back to what's turned into the bread and butter here tonight is just storm the corner with Charlie and using that size advantage and trying to get it walled off. And you're kind of betwixt in between if you're playing against Oceanside, right? Match and tail with defensive coordinator Farmingdale was, if I sacrifice too many men to the run, he'll throw it. And if I, give us one play with a safety, throw somebody else, they outnumber us in the box, and they're going to run it on us. So it's a little tough situation to be in. This is, the new Oceanside here, Dylan.
Yeah, and look, this is something that we saw last year from McKee, right? He gained about 15 yards of muscle, 15 pounds of muscle. Maurizio's PAT is good. So that brought that aspect to the game. When he would run as a sophomore, there's a good look at McKee there. When he would run as a sophomore, Blount would be like, whoa, hang on, get out of bounds, do something. Like, he doesn't want to get him injured. He gained that muscle, thought that was an aspect of his game that was missing, that was lacking. He addressed it. He addressed it again this year, too. He wants to, look, he's going to obviously go on and play at Stony Brook, so he knows he's got to sort of mold his body now into a college quarterback, right? So he gained even more muscle this offseason, and we're seeing that there. I think we saw that on that big run where Schmeichel's a big dude, right? And it was hard to take McKee down. Right now, McKee 6'1", 205. I want to say he was like 175, right, as a sophomore. That's all muscle that McKee's gained and certainly has become a very dangerous high school rushing quarterback that goes along with obviously all the incredible things he could do passing the football.
Tell you, Dylan, if you'd say we're going to come here tonight and almost with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, Oceanside would have 3 touchdowns, all by Charlie McKee, you'd be like, well, who'd he throw him to?
Yeah.
But instead you've got he's ran them all in, right? You've got 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I think this is a new dimension that'll make Oceanside and make it very hard to beat, And obviously puts defense in a very difficult position. The ability to do 2 things well, run the football and throw the football.
Yeah, McKee, a 1-yard touchdown run, a 3-yard touchdown run, and then a 13-yard touchdown run as well. And those are your 21 points, along with Maurizio's 3 PAT conversions. And we're getting into dangerous territory now for the Dalers, right? Where it was a 7-6 ball game. They had a chance to tie it. Their PAT was wide, and there is the kick. Short, fielded by Schmeichel on the bounce. Tries to go the other side. Great coverage downfield, pushing Schmeichel back, and Farmingdale will have a long field to start with. Baez, 14, you can see there.
Good job by the Oceanside guys in coverage. We had the 6x4 there, and the 6 side kind of cut the field in half and didn't give Schmeichel the ability to cross the field. A couple years ago, we were here, right, Dylan, and we ran a couple kickoffs back. A couple kickoffs ran back in the Farmingdale Oceanside game.
Yeah.
Kevin Wilson and Dom Chachio.
Chachio had a big game.
And, so great coverage there, and Farmingdale started from their own 15. So I think right about now, things are working out pretty well for Coach Blount the way he saw the second half coming along.
And you got to say a big possession here for Farmingdale. At the very least here, you've got to move the football. You've got to get those chains going. 3 and out with the momentum that Oceanside has now. It could be very, very dangerous, especially where you are in the field. 1st and 10 from your own 16-yard line. Ooh, high snap. Fielded by Wilson, hands off to Ramos. Breaks the first tackle. Ramos out past the 25-yard line.
He made the first guy miss, and he almost had tackle from the side. They held on to him, but he almost ran through the second one. He might have been gone if he had gotten to the next one, but great tackle right there, hanging on to the help came to get him on the floor.
10-yard gain by Ramos, and he's got the lone score for Farmingdale. And this one, a 50-yard touchdown run all the way back in the early portions of the second quarter. Nearly too many men, and it was actually too many men for Oceanside.
Yep, you got a legal participation, it looks like, on Oceanside. Trying to make a defensive substitution there, and they couldn't get him on and off in time. So, some yards here for Farmingdale, getting 5 yards, making it 1st and 5.
Yeah, from the 31-yard line. Wilson's got Ramos to his left hip. High snap again. Wilson drops back. Looks one-handed. Attempted catch was Gayron, and that was incomplete.
Just a little too much on that one for Gayron to get in, and snap was a little high, but he gave it a control and get the ball in the right spot to throw it. And good press protection right there at a little bit of time. 2nd and 5 here though, Dylan. 1st down and 5. If you can throw the ball here and now. 2nd down, maybe try a couple shots at running it. See how big Rossler is out there, right? He's what's him at 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, he is listed. Where do I have Rossler? Gets him in a moment. 2nd and 5 from the 31-yard line. There is Ramos. Hit hard. Bounces off that first impact and will go down. Maybe gets 2 on the play. But yeah, Rossler, 6'6", 240.
So you got 3rd and 3 here. Pretty big down for the Farmingdale guys to try to keep. Right now it's 21-6. Clock running in the 3rd quarter. 3 minutes and 3:44 running, and want to try to keep possession here away from Oceanside and get a drive going, because you're only really down 2 scores, right? And if you get a drive going here, you kind of can tighten the game up a little bit.
Smichael coming in at the bottom of your screen. Good to see Hossein back in as well. He is defending him. Wilson looks his way, goes up top looking for Smichael, and he overthrows him a little bit. Incomplete. Again, Hossein on coverage.
Kind of blitzer off the edge there that got to Wilson probably a little bit before we wanted to throw it, and couldn't keep that ball in play.
So 4th and 3 from the Dalers 33. Like McKee on the other side, Wilson also the punter for the Dalers.
Yep, up until this game, it had been Ryan Woodland. He spoke about his injury, been punting, so Wilson pressing the duty here.
He's done a really good job. Dalers, I think, in dangerous territory here of, did they get it off? I don't think they got it off in time. There's the punt, fielded at the 35-yard line, and a short return, but there is a flag. I think they didn't get the playoff in time.
Good tackle there, number 63. I think that was Joe Black on the tackle for Farmingdale.
There you see the call. It will be declined, so Oceanside will take over at the 45-yard line. Threatening here to pull away with 3:05 left in this third quarter.
A big series now for the Farmingdale defense, trying to get a stop here. Oceanside have a pretty good field position, and if Oceanside could get a score here, closing out the third quarter, it kind of put the game, maybe a little out of reach, and a stop or a turnover by the defense could kind of keep them in it right now.
They've gotten a few stops, right? A pick, Bolello, a strip. They'll need one here. Lyson motions to the left. Handoff up the middle. What a cut. Up the field. Huge run by Parker. He's taken down at the 26-yard line.
Great run by Parker, get it all blocked up, and nice tackle coming in to stop the Silicon. Getting great push up front on the inside.
Yeah, Lyson with a big block as well. So 1st and 10 from the Dalers' 26-yard line.
Looks like we got a Farmingdale player cramping here.
It's a chance now to remind you again of our upcoming schedule. We go from Oceanside out to Bethpage. Tomorrow afternoon, Nassau Conference 3 showdown between Bethpage and Wanta. Wanta, a team a year ago, right? Won Nassau Conference 4. They bump back up pretty much where they should be, where we're used to seeing them, and that gets the Bethpage-Wanta rivalry renewed tomorrow afternoon. Next Friday night, under the lights in South Huntington, it's St. Anthony's Cardinal Hayes, a battle in the Catholic High School Football League AAA Division. St. Anthony's Cardinal Hayes, 7 o'clock start for that one. And again, take two. We remind you to follow us on all of our social media handles for more upcoming schedule announcements. We can assure you we will be all over Long Island this fall. Out of the timeout, Oceanside, 1st down from the 26-yard line. Twin receivers at the top of your screen. Looks like that's Hossein and Mecca. On the bottom was Ebel. The handoff, though, went up the middle. And it was Miller, and we're seeing now, it seems like every single play, players cramping up.
I think the last few days has taken the kids by surprise a little bit. I kind of hinted at it before, Dylan. It hasn't been the last couple of days. We've been pretty humid, but not necessarily a high temperature. And the kids go home and think, I'm doing okay. But they're really not doing okay. And they need to hydrate more. And whatever you're hydrating now is not helping. It's a little bit too late, and they'll put you in those spots.
Yeah, that hydration, especially for a game day, that's got to be the night before, the day before.
Sure, even 2 days before.
Yeah.
Kids ride school buses, not always air conditioned. They drive into a game with some of their equipment on. They're getting in a locker room before the game, so there's a lot of sweating going on as you're preparing to play, and that's where you're burning up all those fluids in your system. And it's like you said before, it's contagious. It happens to one guy. It's kind of it's catching.
Yeah, like the flu or something. This week 2 for both teams. Again, both coming off of week 1 wins. Oceanside, a 34-7 win at Uniondale. In that game, McKee, 15 of 18 for 231 yards, 4 touchdowns. Ronnie Kramer, 2 receiving touchdowns. Hossein, 5 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown as well. A year ago, Oceanside was 7-1. Their lone loss, a bitter one, to rival Massapequa in the Nassau Conference 1 championship game, 36-29. And again, a rare situation in the pandemic-shortened season in the spring. Hofstra not available when the schedule was made, so all the championship games were on home sites, which made this atmosphere a special one, but one where Massapequa came, won, and Charlie McKee was even quoted in Newsday saying he remembers that game well, remembers Massapequa dancing on the Oceanside logo out at midfield after that game, and it was something that's driving Oceanside this year.
Sure, certainly a little bit of a heated ending to that game. Mass people to come from behind victory here at Oceanside, and a very unique situation last year, the pandemic shortened season in terms of playing in the spring. 8-game season, made it to the championship in an 8-game season, and and out of the 8-game season, here you are playing home sites for playoff games, and I thought that was actually kind of cool.
It was. It was different.
It's one thing to kids get the opportunity to play at Hofstra, play a neutral site and everything, but no disrespect to Hofstra, but they don't field the football team anymore, even though it's a nice place to play. And kids got to play at home sites last year, and the number one seed, Oceanside, played at home, and they won. Mass people won the game, but they were able to play a couple home playoff games, and certainly a different atmosphere, than it was in past years when you play a neutral site.
To open that spring season, Oceanside defeated Farmingdale 28-0 in week 1. In that game, McKee had 6 carries for 45 yards, 2 touchdowns, went 12 of 20 for 182, and 2 more scores, Rossler and Ebel, with touchdown receptions in that one. Only 5 games played for the Dalers in that spring season. They went 2-3.
Dylan, I think some teams were better off having less games played, and some needed more to get played. And I thought, speaking for the squad I was part of, we would have been happy to play a few more. May have helped us, and I think both these teams here, we'll see. No matter what the score is, you'll see that both teams get better as the season rolls on.
2nd and 8. There's McKee again. Bounces to the outside. Has blockers. McKee, touchdown. 24-yard touchdown run for Charlie McKee. His 4th rushing touchdown of the game.
Not complicated. You kind of know it's coming. They're just going to storm the corner, with Lyson and getting those guys out of the hat, big people on small people. And I think the Farmingdale defense is a little tired. Played a lot of defense this half, a couple 3-and-outs and one series of 1 first down. So I think they're a little worn out.
We've seen McKee run this way, right? Run left. For his last couple of scores, it was a 13-yard touchdown before this one. This was a 24-yard touchdown. He's got Joey Broderick at left tackle. You've got Ray Diaz. We mentioned him before at left guard, but it's also the other guys, right? It's Rossler and Lyson and those bigger, skilled guys also providing the blocks upfield. So was Mecca 4.
Well, you have the left side there with Broderick, a very good player for them, returning starter, 3-year starter, I believe, all-county player, and Diaz on that left side. So they certainly have a senior side with Corvino at the center in the middle as a senior, and then you have the younger side with Staltari, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, sorry if I'm not, and Alvarez at the on the right side. They're a little bit younger, so go to your bread and butter senior side, right? And,
you're blocking well upfield. You saw there number 6, Lyson, turn around and be like, where is everybody all right behind me? Because there's no one in sight. And you see there, big number 70, Ray Diaz, giving his QB a pound.
Sure, I think it's, tonight they made it pretty simple, Farmingdale guys have done a good job covering the pass, defending the pass, and gotten some pass rush. But the size differential up front in the running game has been pretty big, no doubt.
So 28-6 is your lead now, and we mentioned just before, right, threatening to put it away, and Oceanside in control right now of a game that was very close in the first half. Again, 7-6 with Farmingdale threatening to tie the score with the PAT, but it's been all Oceanside. It's been all Charlie McKee. And all the running game, something that we've not seen a lot, certainly. And again, as you mentioned, last year, your running game was kind of Andres Duran lowering his shoulders and just going forward. This year, it's more by committee, and that committee includes Charlie McKee. Smichael receives the kickoff. Oh, he is hammered. Rob Blount got a good vantage point of that one. He loved what he saw from his special teams there.
Good coverage right there. Kicks that ball from the hash mark and kind of pins it a little bit. And, good tackle right there by Oceanside. Look, that was
Ryan Denny, 33.
Great job on special teams right there.
So 2:12 left, third quarter. Again, Charlie McKee, 4 rushing touchdowns. Home opener for the Sailors. The 309 has come out in force. The student section here at Oceanside getting loud to our left. It's a blackout here tonight. Ramos pumps the brakes, cuts inside, still stays on his feet before he's taken down at about the 32-yard line.
Nice run there by Ramos, taking the jet, getting that sweep going sideways and turning it up. I think the hardest part in those jet plays is getting north and south, right, and getting your shoulder pads squared. He got him squared up. I thought he was almost able to wind that back, but the good pursuit by the Oceanside guys got him and held him to a gain of only 8.
There you see the 309. To our left. They travel well, too.
Yep, very good student section here.
Whistles just before, and it'll be a timeout for Oceanside. We'll take it with them as well. 1:28 left, third quarter. It's Oceanside leading Farmingdale 28-6. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got. He's in.
Touchdown, Farmingdale!
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside!
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
And welcome back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here. Handoff. Run goes out to about the 39-yard line.
First down run by number 6, Sal Basilico.
Plus sophomore Sal Basilico in the game, getting some carries a little bit. Sal was a player in the JV a year ago and maybe was slated to be on the JV again this year. And the coach at Stanford decided to bring him up. Not many players get brought up too early in Farmingdale. He's one of the early ones, and good carry there. He's got great potential, Sal, to be a good back for them in the future. With his sophomore and a junior on the ball, those guys will be around for a while.
Under a minute left here, third quarter. Low snap. Big run. There he goes again. Basilico gets to the outside. Basilico. Touchdown, Farmingdale. 61-yard touchdown run by Basilico.
Sal did me a favor right on cue there, right? Hook me up, Sal. There you go, buddy. Good run by Basilico, and he got north-south and just kept on going. And he's got good speed right there, and is able to run away from the defense. Gets caught in the end zone, but Gayron on the backfield as a junior, and Basilico and Ramos, pretty good young backfield combo for the Dalers. Looks like they'll go for 2 here. Dylan try to cut the lead in half.
Yeah, they missed that point after. That would have tied the game at 7 early in that second quarter. 2 Dalers touchdowns, 2 from 50 yards and more. Ramos with a 50-yard touchdown run. Now Basilico goes into the end zone from 61 yards out. Here comes a 2-point attempt. You got Ramos there. You see him, number 1 to the right. Low snap. Wilson takes it himself. He's got some room. Wilson cuts inside, and he's in. 2-point conversion. Kyle Wilson. And he cuts the Dalers' deficit to 28-14 with 40 seconds left in this third quarter.
Nice run there, Dylan, by Kyle Wilson, trying to get to the edge with that kind of like run pass option type of play, right? Look, somebody open, turn it up and run. So good answer there to the Dalers. The offense has kind of been a little stalemated this third quarter, and they got a little something going right there. Big play by Basilico, cuts the lead in half.
I think if anything, right, Mike, look, Oceanside still likely, barring something crazy in the fourth quarter, likely to win this game. But as a coaching staff, when you look back at the tape and you go over with your team, those moments you love to see, right? Because you're down. How do you react to adversity? We talked about that last week, being such a big thing. Teams handling adversity. Here's some adversity for Farmingdale. Basilico responded, answered the bell in a big way.
Sure, I think, that the programs on Long Island, the standard programs out there, programs that have excellence year in and year out, to compete year in and year out. You can see that those guys, they have kids that are going to answer the bell and they're going to keep playing. They're not going to stop playing. And I think Coach Brown's reminding his guys, we got to keep playing here. The game's not over. Even though we have the game a little bit in hand, we're happy and we're moving the ball. But the Farmingdale guys are proud. They're going to keep fighting, and that's because that's who they are. And if the score is reversed the other way, the same thing would be going on. It's irrelevant of the way the score. If we flipped it, it would be the same. And if Massapequa was here playing, it'd be the same. If Freeport was here playing, it'd be the same.
A lot of blue-collar mentalities.
Those championship programs, those winning programs, they have that.
Off the touchdown, there's the kick. It's fielded at the 10. Good return, and it will be down at about the 34-yard line. So Charlie McKee, we talked all about his passing accomplishments, and we'll show you where he is in terms of the Long Island landscape. Of course, the legendary Jack Cohn at the very top, both in terms of his yards and his touchdowns over the course of 4 years, a starting quarterback at Sayville. Played under the great Rob Haas there as well. Joe Cap at Lawrence as well. 100 touchdown passes. So McKee, he can get some Capobianco's numbers. I'm not sure he can get the Cones, but look, there's only one Jack Cohn. And in my time of covering high school football since, like 1997, I think I started covering, I've not seen a quarterback in person, live, like Jack Cohn, and we're seeing what he's doing now, right? Going from Wisconsin, going into the transfer portal after an injury. Now he's a starting quarterback at Notre Dame, doing his thing there as well.
Sure, Jack Cohn, a Division 1A commit, going to Wisconsin. It speaks a lot for Long Island football and his development as a player. There we have the sweep. Good play by Farmingdale, bottling it up right there. Way to string it out, set the edge a little bit. But going back to Charlie McKee, I remember last year we only got to play 8 games, Dylan. He only got 8 games. Look at that kind of team. If that was a championship game, and them and Massapequa made it to the championship, they would have played 11 at least.
Right.
And one of them, Massapequa, would have got the 12th game in if it was a regular season. So short a few games there in the yardage. If you probably figure it out, he's probably even a little bit closer to Capobianco with a full season. But I think the thing is now, though, we said in the opener is can you win the championship? And I know Charlie wants to real bad, and I would love to see him do it because that's how you cement your legacy, right? Winning championships at the quarterback spot, for yardage and numbers, but winning is the key.
End of 28-14 lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
And Hands off, three-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Oceanside. It's week 2 and game 1 of 2 this weekend for the Varsity Media Sports Network. Again, tomorrow afternoon, we shift to Nassau Conference 3. Some power football there with Bethpage and Wantagh renewing their rivalry. Roddy McCoy trying to bring some tradition back to Bethpage, former quarterback for the Golden Eagles, and Keith Sachs, of course, longtime head coach for Wantagh. Kickoff for that one, 2 p.m.
Wantagh guys always fun to watch.
Yes.
You get all kinds of stuff there tomorrow from the Wantagh. It'll be awesome, fun to watch with Coach Sachs, and always brings an exciting game plan.
We start the fourth quarter on a 2nd and 9. Handoff up the middle into the secondary. A first down run out toward the 50-yard line. And as you said, those numbers now getting a little tough. Looks like, again, Parker, 21 with the run.
I think, Coach Brown's found the formula for tonight. What was tonight's formula, right? He's got a pretty big playbook, a 4-year starting quarterback, bunch of returning offensive guys. Probably got a lot of plays in that playbook, right?
Yes.
Dylan, but, I know he's got a lot of plays in that playbook, but right now he's putting in a formation. He's keeping it pretty simple, and this is the formula for tonight.
We've not seen that bag of tricks, though, that we usually see. We did see that one onside kick, but from an offensive standpoint, we've not seen it. Over the middle. Completion. Was that Rossler, it looks like? And a late flag.
Yep, Rossler kind of sat down over the middle on that sit-down route and kind of made the play. Caught the ball. Kind of releases, kind of sits down, little stick route.
We mentioned before, Rossler, a big dude, tough to take down, 6'6", 240. A year ago, got hurt in week 2 against Syosset, tore ligaments in his ankle. He missed the rest of the season, which was a big loss for Oceanside. They just got him back 2 weeks ago. It's been that long for Rossler to come back, and they're kind of taking him along slowly, but Blount calls him the real deal. And again, at his size, right, that opens some eyes from collegiate coaches. Super smart kid, though, too. 1520 SAT, 103 GPA. Johns Hopkins RPI. How about this? A biomedical engineering is what he's looking to study.
The schools you mentioned, Johns Hopkins especially, plays excellent Division III football. A perennial Division III playoff team in that level of football in D3. And a great place to go to school for those things you want to study. Good luck to him. And his game has changed a lot. He was always an inline blocker, but now you can see the receiving skills and what he brings to the table.
Lyson was in motion, creating that block, and there's Parker again.
16-yard gain by number 21, Cole Parker.
I'll tell you, he's deserved all of these touches here tonight, and he deserves to get some more, I think, going forward as well. Parker, and again, it was always going to be a running back by committee this year after Duran graduated as McKee on first down. Scampers out to his left. Tackled from behind. Good looking tackle there by Steinheimer, 58.
Tackle for loss by Farmingdale number 58, Aiden Steinheimer.
You can see there, Dylan, they got back on the line of scrimmage real fast. They had moved the ball back. There was a personal foul a couple plays ago. And there was a personal foul, moved the ball back, and they kind of got that yardage back a little bit on that run. Nice play by Steinheimer, dragging him down.
2nd and 12 from the 36-yard line.
Looks like Steinheimer's bumped out to end now. A couple guys with some cramping issues, a little banged up on the sidelines, I think.
Run again up the middle. Spinning, turning, and a big gain on 2nd down. It was Michael Mecca.
And that's a first down, Sailor.
Mecca's a guy who will showcase in a lot of different ways, not unlike a few of his other buddies out there, right? There he goes again. He'll be a tailback. He'll be a receiver.
Yeah, bringing that. I think that guard around there on the power play. It's hard to deal with right now. They run left with Broderick and Diaz, and then they run right and they bring Broderick with Diaz around. And it's a pretty good formula.
Second and 8 from the 12-yard line. McKee already has 4 rushing touchdowns, accounting for every score this game. This time he throws in and out of the hands, and a little extracurricular, and yes, there is a flag thrown. Looked to be a little bit of a kick out by Rossler.
I think that was actually, I don't think it was Rossler. I think that might have been actually Dylan. I think that might have been Lyson releasing to the flat. Basilico kind of went down low on him.
It's hard to see, you know why? Because he's got...
Yep, the whole numbers are tough.
Yeah.
We'll send the memo.
But he has the pads blocking the bottom of his number, and they're both like the same size.
He's got that low back kidney pad, the low back pad, which I think is pretty essential these days. A lot of guys wear that and good protection, low back kidneys.
And this is something I don't think Blount's going to like, right? Like you've got to close out the game the right way. Now, he'll argue that Lyson was wrapped up a little bit longer, right? Like his leg was getting grabbed at, and Lyson went to kick out. But regardless, you can't kick out your leg in that kind of situation.
One thing I think you talk about is he'll talk to the official and stuff, but he'll also talk to the player. And can't put the decision making in the hands of the officials, right? You got to keep it where they can't make a decision and decide that that's going to be a foul that's going to hurt the team. You got to keep it out of their hands because it's not the NFL. There's no replays. Everyone's human. Everyone sees things a certain way. It's an emotional game, physical game. I think the referees are also going to be very careful about in a game like this to keep preventing it from getting a little bit too rough between the two teams that are big rivals. And so
there's Parker again, pulled down from behind. He'll get to about the 22-yard line.
Good tackle there by Dilger. He got about 5 there. Little run there, but 4th and long here for Oceanside. Gonna go with a field goal here.
Well, the bigs are coming in again,
yeah,
right?
No, we got to forget. Dylan, when I'm present, there's a field goal. There's a field goal kicked when I'm present.
All right, so this is going to be fun. Let's see. It'll be a 40-yard attempt by Maurizio, and this is right at what Blount said he's comfortable with, 40 yards and in for Maurizio. Kramer, the hole. The kick is up. Does it have the distance? It does! A 40-yard field goal by Maurizio.
That's a 40-yard field goal by number 88, Frank Maurizio.
And he had a little more there as well.
Yep, they had Schmeichel back there in case it was short. He could return it, and he could catch it and run around with it. And he couldn't get there because it went through. Dylan, last Friday night we had a couple field goals, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Friday night field goals. We got something new. Hashtag that.
Will we have some field goals next Friday night? We'll see. We'll be out at St. Anthony's for a Catholic high school football league. AAA showdown between Cardinal Hayes and St. Anthony's. When you look at that conference, really, those are two of the big boys, right? Then you got Iona, and you've got Stepanak, and that big four a little bit. Some people talking a little bit more Catholic coming out of Staten Island as maybe the next kind of team up, but it's very much a top-heavy conference, and these are two of the top teams. Friday night, 7 o'clock, right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
I've heard maybe people will say maybe some of the balance of power was shifted into the city a little bit, up into that area with Iona Prep and Stepanak and Cardinal Hayes. But so we'll see if St. Anthony's can bring right the ship and bring the and bring the control back to Long Island and South Huntington out there, you know. So
yeah, for how many years, right? Richie Reichert had that ship going, and so many incredible players, and what a great coach he was, and he has since retired, but he's still around, right? You still feel his impact and his legacy with that program out of St. Anthony's. Joe Minucci, a former player for him, the athletic director and the head coach now as well, and following the tradition laid down by Richie Reichert.
Richie, just an all-around great guy.
That's a live ball, and nearly, that's what you love too about Maurizio, right? He kind of put it into a pocket where there were no players for Farmingdale, and nearly resulted in Oceanside getting the ball, but it will be Farmingdale with the ball at their own, I believe it's a 31-yard line.
Going back to Coach Reichert for a second, great individual, great, one of the great coaches in Long Island football history, but just a great person to be around, and you talk to him, and he's a great guy. His son is now defensive coordinator, I believe, at LIU. A tough schedule to start the year with some heavy hitters, but they'll come back from those soon and get in their league schedule. But Coach Reichert's son is continuing the coaching legacy.
And one thing you know when you get to St. Anthony's, no matter what, you've got to walk right along Rich Reichert Way. First down run, and they'll get out to about the 36-yard line. Another 8 minutes left here, fourth quarter.
Yeah, let's come out in a two tight end package right there. Take a little page out of Coach Brown's book, and they run to the corner with Wilson. And Kyle, a nice run, get about 6 yards. Show some of that midfield ability he's got, running to the corner with the ball. And, Farmingdale right now, they're down by 2 scores and a little more. And they get a drive going here and keep the ball on the ground, a little mix of run and pass, get a score here, see if you can challenge a little bit.
2nd and 4 from the 37-yard line. Wilson hands off, nothing doing this time. Big hit for a loss.
Tackle for loss by number 8, Miles McGann.
And it was McGann. We haven't mentioned his name here tonight, but McGann, the junior, first-year starter. Blount says they call McGann, Lyson, and Rossler the Mules. McGann, 6'2", 195 from the outside linebacker position.
I'm not sure what on that play. I don't know if that ball was supposed to go, but there was an unblocked player there, and kind of to be successful when there's unblocked guys hanging around. I'm sure that'll get cleaned up in the film room next week.
3rd and 6. Wilson looks flushed out, past the 40 to the 45, flag down. It's a first down run, but we'll see if there's a hold here as well that will potentially bring it back.
I think they're going to get Basilico on something away from the ball here. I don't know if it's a block in the back, a hold, or one of those. There's a new emphasis on the undefended players, running to the football, getting hit. We'll see what the decision is here.
Here's the white hat. Personal foul against Farmingdale.
If he was talking, it might have been helmet to helmet, or it was definitely a little away from the play with Basilico trying to get a block on one of the Oceanside players.
So a first down run is negated, and the 15-yard penalty pushes Farmingdale all the way back to the 32-yard line. Wilson, low snap, look out, flushed out, turns, spins, taken down for a loss. Miller, 28, gets the sack. And that's one of those two where the pressure comes from up front, and then Wilson just finishes the job.
kind of had to step up there a little bit. The pressure from the edges was coming pretty fast, and then when the inside broke down and tried to run a little bit and couldn't escape, great pass rush. When the Oceanside guys saw they had time to pin their heels back and go, it was tough.
And that's what Blount was saying about having Miller on the edge, right? Now he brings that pass rush possibility that maybe was lacking in the past. Wilson the punt. It takes a Farmingdale bounce, fielded at about the 33-yard line, but that's where the return ends.
Tommaso Ramos on the tackle, does a little bit of everything.
He certainly does. 5:07 left in this one. Let's take a look at the schedules for both these teams going forward and kind of see their road as we move forward. Oceanside, I think it's fair to say right now we'll go to 2-0. They'll go to Hempstead before that big matchup against Massapequa on October 2nd, that rematch of the championship game in the spring. Then they got Port Washington at Syosset, another big game for the Sailors before they end up against East Meadow and a young but improved Freeport team, and the Dalers on the other side there. They'll go to 1-1. Go to Plainview next week. East Meadow, a chance to maybe get a couple more wins before they go to Syosset. That'll be a big showdown as well. Westbury, Freeport, and then they end the regular season with their arch nemesis, neighborhood rival Massapequa.
Yeah, both teams, definitely some winnable games on their schedule, games which they'll be the favorites. I think Oceanside will be the favorite in most of the games they play, depending on how Massapequa's team continues to fare. They had a pretty easy time in week 1 against East Meadow. Massapequa seems to be a reloaded group there. Oceanside definitely appears to have a few more returning starters back than the other teams in the conference. A little more experience, but football, Dylan, is unfortunately is a sport of injuries, and it's a physical game, and guys are going to get banged up at times. And sometimes one of two things happens, right? The best team stays the best team because they stay healthy and they avoid the injury bug. And sometimes the best team doesn't avoid the injury bug, but they're deep enough to overcome it, and other guys get in the lineup and play. So I think Oceanside, hope maybe they can be a little bit of both. They have some depth, or maybe they could overcome a few injuries. I know McCormick not playing tonight.
And you speak of injuries, Mecca was just down for Oceanside. He's up, though, after getting work done, which is good to see. 5:07 left, and at this point of the game, that's kind of what you want, right? You just want both teams to end this game relatively healthy and not have any big injuries and just head into week 3.
Sure, you want both teams get out of here, hopefully get out of here relatively healthy and get to play next week and move along and get better as they go along. And there'll be plenty of things to fix for Coach Brown as well. Every game there's things to fix, so he'll find plenty of stuff to work on here.
McKee hands off on first down. Big run, ball on the carpet, and it'll be Farmingdale ball.
That might be one of them, Dylan. And they've kind of put the ball on the ground a couple times today, and I know that won't make Coach Brown happy. They'll not make Coach Brown happy.
See the handoff, and didn't quite see. I think 59 was it for Farmingdale. Ricky Fallwark in on that tackle on the strip.
Ricky getting a little time on the defensive line, the starting center for the Dalers, and try to get a little time in there on the defensive line, up with the fumble, what appears to be.
So 4:58 left here. Farmingdale takes over on the Oceanside 37-yard line. Handoff, Ramos spins. He's taken down by Miller, but he gets out to about the 32-yard line.
Once again, he's got those quick feet in the hole and gets one guy to miss. Is able to get 5 or 6 yards.
Another legacy guy, right? Lorenzo, his brother as well.
Well, Lorenzo was a 3-year starter for the Dalers, could do everything kind of guy. Last year, kind of thought, the 2-3 season was deserving of making All Long Island, and obviously 2-3 wasn't a great record, but he did everything for us, and his brother's kind of the same way, could do a little bit of everything.
5-yard gain there, low snap. Wilson takes it himself. Good burst by Wilson. stopped at the 30. Looked like Lyson in on the tackle.
Short game by number 11, Kyle Wilson.
As well as Nicky Ebel.
Sure, Dylan. I mean, the game, the Cox running, they'll be running here 3:55 and running, and it appears that more than likely Oceanside's going to come away with the victory here tonight in the home opener. But both teams have a lot to build on. I think the Farmingdale guys playing with a lot of first-year starters, and great experience being here in Bright Lights, big city here in Oceanside, and.
Good job by Wilson there, huh? Just ran under center and gets the push up front for the first down.
Yep, good job on the sneak. Just get what they need, kind of getting the quick count, right? Get the ball snapped and move it and get the first down as needed.
Wilson, again, it's a theme really throughout both of these programs, right? But another guy with a brother who did some special things in a Dailers uniform as well, right?
Sure, Kevin, his older brother, all Long Island player, and getting quite a bit of time as a young guy at LIU. Kyle's making his own name for himself, throwing the ball around. Good ball right there. Good coverage, too. Good play all around right there.
Smichael, the reception, taken down. Looked to be about the 19. Here's a look again. I like Ramos here with the block, allowing Wilson a little extra time.
Smichael run that whip route there and just getting back to the outside, and the coverage is really good. I mean, Dylan, how many other than a few of the hitches that Oceanside threw tonight, not a lot of uncovered people in the field tonight. A lot of good coverage by both teams, good athletes in the secondary, and guys aren't really wide open.
Smichael at the bottom of your screen. There's the handoff. Little push forward. Did they get enough for the first down? They needed 2. And they didn't get it. Looks like a no gain. No, got a yard. No, 3rd and 1, under 2 minutes left.
Yeah, we'll still have all 3 timeouts. Clock moving just under 2 minutes.
Let's hope they keep those timeouts in the pocket. Man in motion. Wilson follows the blocker. He will get that first down and a little bit more. It's a good run by Kyle Wilson. It's like he followed Pasilico there. So 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Clock, as you see, is churning right along, and now we'll get a timeout by the defense. Blount calls timeout.
One of the takeaways we'll find out, Dylan, is both coaches will make sure guys hydrate a little better for next week, right? A lot of cramping going on, and when you play the Oceanside guys and the Farmingdale guys, going to be a lot of running going on, a lot of covering routes, and a lot of plays being run. The teams don't huddle; they get plays off relatively quick, so a lot of snaps in the game and a lot of reps.
I think next game will be played in the actual fall, right? I think we're approaching the fall, and I think the temperatures might be going down a little bit as well. You still have those like afternoon games where it gets a little bit warm, right? And I think we'll see one of those tomorrow as well. Again, we are going to be out at Bethpage tomorrow afternoon. Bethpage and Wantagh out in Nassau Conference 3. It's funny, one of the storylines is about this rivalry, right? And Keith Sachs was blunt about it, to be honest. He said, look, people say, oh, it's the best rivalry you have. He was like, well, look, in the early days, there was no rivalry. We just could not beat Bethpage. He said the goal every week was let's not lose 100-0 to them and then have it affect us in the next week getting beat up against Bethpage. obviously things have turned, and then Wantagh won a lot, and now they've kind of split the last 16 games or so. I think it's like 8-6 or less 14, that is. Wilson with the run. Gets toward the 10-yard line. So that's our game tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock kickoff from Bethpage High School. We're under a minute left in this one. There it is again, Bethpage, Wantagh, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So I guess the only question left here, Mike, is will the Dalers get in the end zone one more time? They're not taking their timeouts, and they are, in fact, taking their time as well. 33 seconds and counting. Wilson, hands off. Ramos gets inside the 10. 21 seconds left. Dalers in no hurry. Ten seconds. Ramos again cuts it outside, cuts back inside. Ramos toward the end zone. Touchdown, Dalers. With 1 second left. Ramos gets in the end zone, and look, honestly, he deserves it. His second rushing touchdown. He's been the star here for the Dalers this afternoon or this evening, and he gets his just dessert there. A tough run for the touchdown there for Ramos.
That's one of the best 1 second left to go in the game and a lost touchdown runs you're going to see. And that's what happens. Two teams play, and they play all 48 minutes, right, Dylan?
Yeah.
To the nose. And a lot of guys will wake up sore tomorrow. It was a hard-fought game. People pick up the paper or go online and see 31-20. And Oceanside is very, very good, but it was by no means easy.
Lachlan said, what are you talking about, 31-20? I'm nailing this point after. Good job by him, especially after that miss early on. So good job by Lachlan to get a PAT. 31-21 is your score with 1 second left. I think it's safe to say now that Oceanside will improve to 2-0 on the season. And I think they're not even going to take this kickoff. But for Oceanside, look, Blount said we're pumped up for this first game, home opener. He said he told the kids the other day, and everything that happened with the COVID year, he said this is our first home game really since November of 2019. They earned the 31-21 win here, and they were led, as they have been for much of these last 4 years, right, by Charlie McKee, but he did it a little bit of a different way. 4 rushing touchdowns for Charlie McKee. We said he was our impact player of the game. He impacted the game in a little bit of a different way here tonight, Mike.
Sure, definitely a little different Oceanside team right there, but winning is winning, right? If you want to win a championship, you got to find all different ways to win a game. And they found one here tonight in terms of using the running game, using their size advantage up front, and Charlie McKee just, getting it done, being a winner, right? And at the end of the day, I think all quarterbacks are measured by winning more than anything else, and he's a winner.
And I think you like to see that if you're Oceanside going forward, showing that you can win in a different way, right? And they ran power football tonight. A lot of different guys rushing the football, and McKee, with the football now in his hands, leading his team to another win. So 31-21 is your final score. That'll do it here from Oceanside for us. For Tom Dwyer, Joe Wheeler, the immortal Chris Sweeney, and my broadcast partner, Mike Hungerford, I'm Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us. And again, reminding you, join us tomorrow as Bethpage takes on Wantagh, 2 o'clock there for that opening kickoff. Have a good night, everyone.